Walsh, Mayor Street, Wilkes Barre. I want to thank Councilman Brown and the committee that he was involved with in distribution of 300 American flags free of charge to the general public. Hopefully that means 300 more flags will be displayed within the city of Wilkes Barre. Recent anniversaries that do honor our flag: Memorial Day anniversary, Pearl Harbor, Flag Day, and Independence Day. But the city of Wilkes-Barre doesn't consider those worthy of honor. Upcoming anniversaries: Korean War, Armistice, 150th anniversary of Arlington National Cemetery, the 200th anniversary of the Star-Spangled Banner, Labor Day, Columbus Day, and Veterans Day. Will those days be ignored as in the past? Absent of flags in Central City on the 4th of July, my son and I took a survey after attending Mass on 4th of July and visited the cemetery. We rode up South Main Street and around Public Square. 9 flags displayed. 1 in Public Square, in our pizza parlor over on the square. Where's the honor to our military who sacrificed for our flag? The United States flag is turning into a billboard. This is the American flag, as it should be and only be, in its natural, honorable form. That's the American flag. Nothing else should be done to it. Nothing has to be done to it. It creates all the honor necessary for any and all occasions. Now, if the way it's going, everything is commercial. This may be your new American flag. Dollars and cents. Proof of that, I gave you photos. Mason Department Store, advertising, blankets or bedspreads, and the image of our American flag. Money. There's your billboard flag here. A t-shirt with a faded American flag. Why a faded one? Is that what our flag is? Again, money. Money, money, money. People say to me, Mr. Walsh, you're obsessed with the flag. And yes, I am. And thank God. What about those people who serve and take care of the hungry up at the St. Vincent de Paul kitchen? Are they obsessed with feeding the hungry? They're obsessed, aren't they? Because there's people who need help. Well, I think our country needs help with regards to our flag. It's being tarnished. The American flag has been absent from Central City for the last 11 years, up until last year. For an 11-year period, there were no flags displayed in Central City. The question is, and I never hear an answer, why? Lack of funds? Maybe not at the present time, yes. Past? No. You could turn to the public and I'm sure you'd get the necessary funds. That's a feeble, feeble excuse. There's no excuse except neglect, indifference. There's no encouragement coming from the city. Prior to a patriotic observance, there's nothing coming forth from this organization here whatsoever. Calling on the people to recognize what our country means, what the sacrifice we're committed to protect our country. And one way of doing it, you're not forcing people, you're appealing to them, to the better judgment. Display the flag, recognize it for what it is, recognize what our country means. That's what you're doing. Nothing comes from this organization. Nothing. for the last 11 years. That's shameful. It's not only shameful, it's dishonorable. You're dishonoring the sacrifices of those men and women who fought and died to protect our flag. With regards to Kirby Park, I took a walk over the other day, and I walked down through the area, I think, where the most complaints are, where the people are living in tents and what have you. And I wasn't the least bit afraid. And I walked around, and I didn't see anything. And I did go down by the riverbank where I think maybe these tents are set up. Of course, they wouldn't be there anyhow because they were cleaned up prior to the River Fest program. And they cleaned that up to protect the people. But why was it necessary to clean it up before this program if there's no danger? And yet I saw in the paper where the police will patrol in car and motorcycle, but not by foot. Why not? If there's nothing to be fearful, why wouldn't they patrol on foot? I went down there. Why won't they patrol on foot? What's to be afraid of if everything's okay? Will somebody please answer these kind of questions?
Okay, Mr. Walsh, okay, your time is up, but I'm going to say something about the flags, and I just came down the boulevard, and you see flags on Wilkes Barre Boulevard, and you see flags on Market Street Bridge. I mean, they are out there. I know that we can do more, and the residents can do more, and I think we all agree with that. We all like to see them. We understand the patriotism that's reflected in the display of the flags, but I do see flags much more so now, and I think a lot of it has to do with the awareness that you've raised and your group and programs like Mr. Brown have, and we need to continue doing those types of things, so we certainly appreciate that. And as far as the police patrolling, I know Mr. George and I have done that. We've been in the park, and it's much more efficient and much more productive. We can patrol, make several passes on a shift if we use a motorized vehicle rather than having somebody spend their shift walking through a mile down and different trails. They can cover a lot more ground a lot quicker if they use a motorcycle or a patrol vehicle. Plus, they're available to respond to something else should something else occur. It's not that they have any concerns about walking through the park. They probably would like to do that. But we encourage them to make as many passes as they can during the day, and I think Mr. George would agree with that. It's just more, well, a foot patrol is a very expensive and dedicated type of patrol, and it certainly works well in certain areas, but when you're covering a large amount of territory like that, I think it's a little bit more productive. That's certainly up to the police chief. It's not.
Why is a walking patrol more expensive? He's not using gas.
Well, it's more dedicated when we have to take a patrol officer and assign them specific.
And a motorcycle can't go down among the shrubbery or the else like that.
But a motorcycle can go over to Public Square and cover that in addition to the park. You can't have a police officer walk through the park and walk over to the square and back over again 3 or 4 or 5 times a shift. So I believe that would be a little more productive. But we certainly make note of their concerns and do appreciate again all they can do. Anyone else from council?
I'm not here looking for praise or anything.
Well, you deserve credit for what you do.
I'm not looking for that.
I'm
looking for.
We just want to thank you for what you do.
But the question is, the flags are up there, but we're there for 11 years and we're up there.
I think we're getting better.
Yeah.
We are getting
But
better.
why are you getting better?
Because of people like that.
Why is that necessary?
Well, it just makes things work.
For 11 years?
Okay, we're not going to go back and forth.
For 11 years
Thank
it's
you.
necessary?
Anyone else in council on that? Okay, thank you, Mr.